Today we're going to make a portable folding camping nightstand. Let's get started. Now I do have a couple of requirements that I want to stick to for this build. So I need it to be foldable and compact when I'm not using it. Second off, I need it to charge all the devices that I usually carry, including my phone, AirPods, and Apple Watch. So for that, I bought this nice foldable dock. So it should be able to charge wirelessly my phone, Apple Watch, and AirPods all together with just a small USB-C cable. So we're going to integrate this into it as well. And I also want to be able to integrate some storage for my 13-inch MacBook Air. So I need to find a way to house this as well so that I can tuck it out of the way when I'm not using it. Now this should be a relatively straightforward build. I'm just using this 10-inch common board for the entire thing, and I'm just going to be using my miter saw to cut all the miters and all the cuts that I need to do, so it should be relatively easy and straightforward. So what I'm doing here is measuring out the width of the nightstand. Because the laptop is going to be housed within the legs of the nightstand, the whole thing has to be a certain width. It needs to be wide enough in order for the laptop to fit between the legs, but narrow enough where when I notch out the legs, it'll hold the laptop without slipping out. It'll make a little bit more sense later on in the video. Now that all my pieces are cut out, let me go ahead and explain what the plan is here. So I just went ahead and used some masking tape to tape the edges edge to edge here. And as you can see with the miters, that should allow me to fold each side down like so. So these should then fold up on one side this way and then the other side. It's still going to be a little long, so I'm going to have to cut out some legs here to interlace them, and it should pretty much just take up this much space. Let me go ahead and correct these miters here. As you can see, they're not the best miters and it's a little off, so I'm gonna clamp them here like I have in these clamps and just hit it with the sander to try to knock these edges down to get this as close to perfect as I can. Okay, so slight change of plans. Because the common board has a little bit of a bow to it, the miters aren't aligning as I'd like them to. So instead, I bought this 2x2 sheet of 3/4 inch plywood. The plywood tends to be a little more straight than the common board. So hopefully once we rip this down and cut it and miter it, it will line up a lot better than the common board. So check that out. Much cleaner miter. Really straight all the way through, so a lot less of a bow compared to the common board, so this should work out great. Okay, I just tried routing the place here for the dock, and I'm going to just dry fit it and make sure that it actually drops into place. Okay, let's see. This should drop in relatively easily here. Okay, not too bad. It's not as clean as I would like, but we're gonna keep going and see what we can do here. Okay, it's kind of working. It's going down. Let's keep going. Nice. All right, as we can see, that fits in there pretty nice. Perfect. I finally have all the pieces cut out, and so let me show you really quick. So this is the top here, and if I were to attach this leg like this, if you notice both legs have kind of a funky shape to them. Now this is just so that when they fold around, right, oops, goes this way, just when they fold back around, they can interlock like this. So this will hopefully give the nightstand a little bit more height, which is what I wanted to have, as opposed to having it super low and just taking the midway point of the top of the nightstand. I made them longer and just cut them so that they recess within each other when they're folded up. So this should be still relatively stable. This isn't going to carry too much weight, so it should be okay. Let me put the dock into place here too. So one other thing that I want to try to see is when this is folded up, this dock still has a little bit of it protruding right there. So when the legs fold up and over, I still need a way to notch out these legs. I'll probably route them out so that it gives it some space for this to fall all the way flat and down. Because right now, as you can see, whoops, as you can see, it doesn't fold all the way flat. So in the legs, I'm going to have to route out a little channel so it can rest right against this here. Good, and good. Perfect. All right, so with the charging dock in there, it folds up nice and flat. There we go. So the plan is, in order to connect all three of these pieces together, of course I'm not just going to use blue tape to hold it all together. I'm going to use this fake leather, this vinyl material that I have here, some scraps of it at least, and I'm going to contact cement it down. So before I go ahead and actually try it on the nightstand itself, I have these two scrap pieces I have mitered here as well. So I'm going to do a test piece and see how it kind of operates, if it folds smoothly and holds together. So before I go ahead and ruin all this work, let's test it out first. We're gonna go ahead and let that dry, and in the meantime, let's go ahead and route out the laptop holder into the legs here. So I have a line marked out right where I want the channel for the laptop holder to go, and I have this piece of wood here clamped down like a fence to keep the router in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and just incrementally channel my way down to cut out the area for the laptop. Before I go any further, the contact cement on the test pieces are dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to stick them on here. All right. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but we can try our best. Apparently this is supposed to bond on contact, which it seems like it actually did. Okay. That's actually not bad. All right, I think this is gonna work. Okay, I am once again putting some blue tape on the seams here, just so we can get a test fit with the laptop shelf. That should be good. And let's see if this will slide right in here. Should be. Check that out. So it slides in and stays exactly what I want. Perfect. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. All that's left to do is to put the vinyl cover on top of it, and it should be good to go. I've gone ahead and routed out a slot for the cable, whoops, right here. So when the dock is plugged in, the cable can channel through that, and then the vinyl will go ahead and cover that channel too, so you won't even see it when it's done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a good layer of contact cement on the very top of this and on the vinyl sheet, and we'll go from there. Okay, the contact cement should be pretty much dry now, and I went ahead and just recessed the cable in there with a piece of tape, because again, the cable is going to be embedded below the vinyl. So let's go ahead and stick this down, and hopefully we can get this in one shot. Let's see. I'll go ahead and just stick it down best I can here. Just leaves a bit of pressure on it. Okay, next piece. Try to get everything nice and lined up here. Okay, push that one down. And last one here. But this should be pretty good. All right. Okay, looks like it's pretty much stuck on there. So now I'm going to carefully cut this out, and hopefully we'll have a nice vinyl top. Now let's flip this around and trim off the edges. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, not bad at all. So this is pretty much done now, but the only thing that's concerning me is the fact that the legs can still kick out. And if this gets knocked to the side, this might buckle and the whole thing might fall over. So in order to secure it in place, I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole onto each leg and then use this small bungee cord to go ahead and stretch it out across both legs and hopefully apply force together so that this whole thing doesn't buckle. So unfortunately, I had my lens set to manual focus on all of these shots where I'm standing the nightstand. So nothing's in focus, and instead of making you guys watch the entire thing, I'm just going to go ahead and end it here and skip to when I'm done. Alright, so the stain is dry and the nightstand is pretty much good to go. So when it's packed down, it takes up about this much space, so it's nice and compact. And then when it's ready to go, all I have to do is undo this little bungee cord, put that to the side, oops, unfold the legs, put it down. I can attach the bungee on the very back so the legs don't kick out. And then I have this portable battery here that I can slip underneath. I can run the wire from the very back and plug it in. And now there's power going to the charging dock. So if I bring this stand up, I can put my phone here, AirPods, and Apple Watch. And of course, I still have the slots on the very side, so I can go ahead and slip in my laptop. So everything is tucked away and good to go. Now that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video or have any suggestions on how to improve this build, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Thank you again for watching.